A magical Christmas Eve. It was December 24th, and Snowville was blanketed in soft white snow. The streets were quiet except for the occasional sound of children laughing or the faint jingling of bells from the town square. Inside a cozy little house at the edge of the town, Lucy, a cheerful 10-year-old girl, was busy decorating the Christmas tree with her 7-year-old brother Tim. "Lucy, can I put the star on the tree this year?" Tim asked, holding a shiny golden star in his hands. Lucy smiled. "Of course, Tim, but be careful. It's very special." Tim stood on his tiptoes, carefully placing the star on top of the tree. He stepped back, and the siblings admired their work. The tree sparkled with colorful lights, red and gold ornaments, and shiny tinsel. "It's perfect," Lucy said. Their parents, Mr. and Mrs. Miller, entered the room carrying trays of freshly baked cookies. The warm smell of cinnamon, ginger, and chocolate filled the air. "Who wants to decorate the cookies?" Mrs. Miller asked. "Me!" Lucy and Tim shouted together, running to the kitchen. For the next hour, the family decorated cookies with icing and sprinkles. There were snowmen, Christmas trees, reindeer, and even one shaped like Santa Claus. Tim's favorite was a cookie shaped like a snowflake. "Don't eat them all, Tim," Lucy teased as her brother sneaked a bite of a cookie. After dinner, they all sat by the fireplace. Mr. Miller read a Christmas story while the children sipped hot chocolate. Tim's eyes grew heavy, but he tried to stay awake. "Santa is coming tonight," he said, yawning. "I want to see him." "You won't see him if you don't sleep," Lucy said. "Santa only comes when everyone is asleep." The children finally went to bed, but Lucy found it hard to sleep. She kept thinking about Christmas morning and the presents under the tree. As she lay in bed, she suddenly heard a strange noise coming from the living room. "Tim, wake up," she whispered. "Do you hear that?" Tim rubbed his eyes. "What is it?" "I think it's Santa," Lucy said excitedly. They tiptoed down the stairs and peeked into the living room. To their amazement, there stood a man in a red suit with a long white beard. It was Santa Claus. Santa was holding a list and checking the presents under the tree. But something seemed wrong. He looked worried. "Santa?" Lucy said softly. Santa turned around, surprised. "Oh no, you caught me," he said with a chuckle. "But you're not supposed to see me." "We're sorry," Tim said. "Are you okay?" Santa sighed. "Well, I do have a little problem. My reindeer, Rudolph, lost his red nose. Without it, we can't guide the sleigh in the dark." Lucy's eyes widened. "That's terrible. How can we help?" Santa smiled. "You're very kind. I think Rudolph's nose might have fallen off somewhere nearby. Can you help me find it?" The children nodded eagerly. Santa waved his hand and the room filled with golden light. Suddenly they were outside in the snowy yard. The moon shone brightly and the stars twinkled above. "Look for something glowing red," Santa said. "That will be Rudolph's nose." Lucy and Tim searched under bushes, behind trees, and even inside the tool shed. As they searched, they heard a soft whimper. "What's that?" Tim asked. They followed the sound and found Rudolph near the barn. The poor reindeer looked sad. "Rudolph!" Lucy exclaimed. "Are you okay?" Rudolph nodded but pointed to his nose. It was missing. Suddenly, Tim spotted something shining in the snow. "Over here!" he shouted, running to pick it up. It was Rudolph's red nose, glowing brightly. Lucy handed it to Santa, who carefully attached it back to Rudolph. "Perfect," Santa said. "Thank you, Lucy and Tim. You saved Christmas." Rudolph's nose lit up the night, and the other reindeer cheered. Santa climbed into his sleigh and waved to the children. "Now off to deliver presents," he said, and the sleigh took off into the sky. Lucy and Tim watched as the sleigh disappeared among the stars. They felt proud and happy. The next morning they woke up to find presents under the tree and a special note from Santa. "Dear Lucy and Tim, thank you for your bravery and kindness. You are true Christmas heroes. Enjoy your gifts. Love, Santa." Lucy and Tim smiled at each other. It had been the most magical Christmas Eve of their lives.